They told us to be happy, to chase passion, to follow our feelings like a compass. But what if your feelings lie? What if peace isn't found in chasing, but in training? What if the real power lies not in controlling the world, but in controlling yourself? That's Stoicism. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why this ancient philosophy, born in the chaos of collapsing empires, may be exactly what you need in the middle of your own storm. What is Stoicism, really? When people hear Stoicism, they often think of cold indifference, emotionless men staring into the void. They are wrong. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about not letting emotions suppress you. It's not about being numb, it's about being unshakable. Founded over 2300 years ago by Zeno of Cerium, Stoicism taught one thing above all. You don't need to control the world, but you do control how you respond. It was born during a time of political upheaval, war, and existential fear. Sound familiar? Zeno taught in painted porch of Athens, the Stoa. That's when Stoicism got its name. But the philosophy didn't stay in Greece. It was sharpened by Roman generals, emperors, slaves, and philosophers. People who sought death every day. People who lost fortunes overnight. People who had no time for abstract theories. They needed something that worked. The core pillars of Stoicism. Four pillars of strength. Stoicism is built on four virtues: wisdom, knowing what's within your control and what isn't; courage, doing the right thing even when it's hard; temperance, mastering your impulses and desires; and justice, doing your duty to others and the world. These aren't just lofty ideals, they are better tested strategies. And here's the magic: if you live by these four, truly live by them, your life becomes quieter, stronger, and more powerful. You know why? Because you stop fighting the wrong battles. You stop trying to change people. You stop chasing the wind. Instead, you turn inward. And that's where the fire starts. The daily fight between ego and equanimity. Every day, the world tempts you to lash out, to prove yourself, to beg for validation, to panic when things go wrong. But the Stoic, he prepares for that storm every single morning. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic minds, wrote this in Meditations. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. He expected chaos, not because he was pessimistic, but because he wanted to be ready. So when that chaos came, he didn't break. He bent and returned to stillness. That's not weakness, that's strength trained. Control and the dichotomy of control. One of the most powerful ideas in Stoicism is this: some things are up to us, others are not. Epictetus. You can't control the weather or other people's actions or the past or the outcome of every choice, but you can control what you think, what you say, what you do next. This is the dichotomy of control. And once you embrace it, really internalize it, anxiety drops, jealousy drops, anger fades. Because you stop trying to carry what was never yours to carry. Emotions are not the enemy. Stoicism isn't about becoming a robot. In fact, Stoics felt deeply, but they refused to be enslaved by emotion. They believed in training the mind, like an athlete trains the body. Take grief, for example. Feel sorrow without collapsing. You still feel love, loss, beauty, joy, but your peace doesn't depend on them. Your peace is rooted inside you. Modern chaos, ancient clarity. Today, we live in a world addicted to outrage. Every scroll is a dopamine hit. Every opinion is a fight. Every minor delay feels like a catastrophe. But the Stoic, he breathes, he pauses, he asks, is this within my control? If yes, act with strength. If no, release it with grace. This doesn't mean you're passive. It means you are precise, emotionally intelligent, intentionally powerful. That's the kind of leader the world actually needs. Daily practices to build stoic strength. So, how do you become more stoic practically? Here are five ancient practices that still work. Negative visualization. Imagine loss, imagine failure, imagine things going wrong. Why? So, when life punches you, it doesn't knock you out. You have already trained for it. Second, the view from above. Zoom out. Imagine yourself from space, a speck, a flicker of light. Suddenly your ego shrinks, your anger softens. You remember how small today's problems are. Third, journaling. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations not for fame, but for clarity. Write your thoughts, your struggles, your goals. It clears the fog. Fourth, voluntary discomfort. Take cold showers, skip a meal, sleep on the floor. Why? To prove to yourself, I can endure discomfort. I don't need luxury to feel peace. Number five, memento mori. Remember, you will die. The Stoics meditated on death daily, not morbidly, but mindfully. When you remember death, you remember what matters. You stop wasting time, you stop being afraid, and you actually start living. Why Stoicism still wins? Stoicism isn't trending, it's timeless. Why? Because the human condition hasn't changed. We still crave control, we still suffer loss, we still battle fear, lust, anger, greed, jealousy every single day. But Stoicism arms us with tools to stay grounded in chaos, to lead with calm, to speak with purpose, to live without fear. In a world that screams for attention, Stoicism whispers, be still and choose your response. You don't need more motivation. You need mastery. You don't need another hype video. You don't need louder motivation. You need a system, a code, a compass that works when life doesn't. That's what Stoicism gives you. And here's the secret most people miss, it's not about feeling strong, it's about acting strong, even when you don't feel it. Final thoughts. Become the calm in the storm. If you take one thing from this entire speech, let it be this: you are not your emotions, you are the master of your choices. The world can go mad, people can betray you, plans can fail. But if you hold on to your principles, if you return to that quiet strength inside, you will not be moved, because while others react, you respond. While others rage, you remain calm. While others fear death, you live fully and die without regret. That's the Stoic path. And if you're ready, it starts now. Subscribe, share, and like. But more importantly, return to yourself, because the answers, they have been inside you this whole time.